Shabbat Shalom.
I'm Rabbi Leah Citrin, and along with my colleague Cantor Danielle Rodnitsky, we welcome you to Westchester Reformed Temple for Shabbat evening services. We are not yet at the darkest day of the year, but we are getting closer. And with the darkness of the world this week, 2 mass shootings, a terror attack in Israel, and the new moon of Rosh Chodesh Kislev that is just a tiny sliver, the darkness looms quite large. At the same time, we bring the light of this week, moments of gratitude and giving thanks, perhaps opportunities to gather with those we hold dear. We bring those moments of joy and light with us as well. All of that is to say, there is so much happening in our lives right now. We leave behind this darkness. We bring ourselves to this moment, Shabbat. We enter this oasis with the hope of the new month. We bring ourselves and all that we carry with us here, now. And we put down some of those darker moments, if only for a moment, to welcome Shabbat, to bring the light together. To do that, in the literal sense, it is my honor to invite forward on the eve of their families' celebrations, the Tauber and Fisher families, to help us kindle the lights of Shabbat. It's okay. The more the merrier. All right.
Amen. We continue with the theme of light as we say our Psalms of Kabbalat Shabbat. We're going to start on page 132. Or zarua la tzadik u'leyishrei lev simcha. Light is sown for the righteous, happiness for the upright of heart.
Bum, biddy, bum, bum, biddy.
We turn to welcome Shabbat as our beloved with the words of Lecha Dodi. They can be found on page 138. We will sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9, and we will rise and turn to the entrance of our sanctuary when we get to the last verse as we usher in our beloved.
Shabbat,
turn to the Baruch Hu, page 146.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Normally in this slot between Baruch Hu and Shema, we have our prayers for creation, for the changing of the seasons and the aligning of the stars, and our prayer of love, of God's infinite love and eternal love for us, the Jewish people. Tonight we will hear instead our gratitude prayer, Modim. And the reason I brought it to you here is because actually it encapsulates all of these themes. It talks about the fact that we can give thanks every evening, morning, and afternoon. And though yesterday we had a beautiful opportunity to express gratitude at our Thanksgiving tables, that act of expressing gratitude doesn't need to stop on Thanksgiving Day. In fact, we are called to share that gratitude at every time of day, on every day of the week. And it says, Me'olam kivinu lach, me'olam kivinu lach, ki lo tamu chasadecha. Your kindness, your love for us, God, will never fail. Modim anachnu lach. Ve'al nisecha shebecho yom, erev avoker v'tzorayim, me'olam kivinu lach, me'olam kivinu lach, ki hatov ki lo chalu rachamecha, ve'hamrachem ki lo tamu chasadecha, me'olam kivinu lach, me'olam kivinu lach, ve'al nisecha shebecho yom, erev avoker v'tzorayim, me'olam kivinu lach, me'olam kivinu lach, me'olam, me'olam kivinu lach, me'olam kivinu lach. Page 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol me'odecha, ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvlechtecha v'derech, uvshochbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
We celebrate the Israelites' freedom from Egypt with words of Mi Chamocha, page 158. Our next prayer, Hashkivenu, originated in a time when people literally didn't know if the sun would rise the next day. So much was uncertain that the comfort of a shelter of peace was critical to their evening prayers. While we might understand the workings of the earth and have electricity to boot, there remains an uncertainty in darkness, in being unable to see. So we offer this prayer together now, yearning for that shelter of peace, a canopy of protection to surround us, to comfort us from the darkness, whether it's literal or figurative, that surrounds us today and many days. Hashkivenu, page 160.
Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and rise for our Amidah on page 164.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Vekonei Hakol Vezocher Chastei Avot Ve'imahot Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah Atah gibor le'olam Adonai Mechayei hakol atarav lehoshia Mashiv haruach umorid hagashem Mechalkel chayim bechesed Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim Somech noflim berofei cholim Umatir asurim Umekayem emunato Lishenei afar Michamocha Baal gevurot Umidom elach Melech memit umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh U'kedoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
We continue silently now, either the words found in our books or in our hearts. You may stay standing or you may be seated.
May I suggest to you, may I suggest this is the best part of your life. May I suggest this time is blessed for you. This time is blessed and shining, almost blinding bright. Just turn your head and you'll begin to see the 1,000 reasons that were just beyond your sight. The reasons why I suggest to you, why I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a world that's been addressed to you, intended only for your eyes. A secret world, like a treasure chest to you, of private scenes and brilliant dreams that mesmerize. A lover's trusting smile, a tiny baby's hands, the million stars that fill the earth-turning sky at night. And I suggest, oh, I suggest to you, oh, I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a hope that's been expressed in you, the hope of 7 generations, maybe more. This is the faith that they invest in you, is that you'll do one better than was done before. Inside you know, inside you understand, inside you know what's yours to finally set right. And I suggest to you, and I suggest this is the best part of your life. This is a song, comes from the west to you, comes from the west, comes from the slowly setting sun, with a request of you to see how very short these endless days will run. And when they're gone, and when the dark descends, and we'd give anything for one more hour of light, may I suggest this is the best part of your life.
Our Torah portion begins this week, Ve'ela Toldot. This is the story of Isaac, son of Abraham. This is the story. Stories have always been central to Jewish text, tradition, and ritual. Pesach revolves around the telling and retelling of our collective story. The reading of Torah itself invites us to revisit the origin story over and over every year. One of my favorite stories about the power of storytelling is a Hasidic tale. It goes like this. When the founder of modern Hasidism, the Baal Shem Tov, saw misfortune threatening the Jews, Safta, you can take her out, please. When the founder of modern Hasidism, the Baal Shem Tov, saw misfortune threatening the Jews, it was his custom to go into a certain part of the forest to meditate. There he would light a special fire, say a special prayer, and the trouble would be averted. Later, when his disciple, the Rabbi Magid of Mezrich, had occasion for the same reason to intercede with heaven, he would go to the same place in the forest and say, "Master of the universe, listen. I cannot light the fire, but I know the place, and I can say the prayer." Still later, Rabbi Moshe Lev of Sasov, in order to save the Jewish people, would go to the forest and say, "I cannot light the fire. I do not know the prayer, but I know the place." Then it fell to Rabbi Yisrael of Ryzen to overcome misfortune. Sitting in his house, his head in his hands, he spoke to God. "I am unable to light the fire, and I do not know the prayer. I cannot even find the place in the forest. All I can do is tell the story, and this must be sufficient." And it was. Even without the fire, without the prayer, without the particular place, knowing there once was a fire and a prayer and a particular place was powerful enough to help overcome misfortune. Stories are important. But as I was studying this story with my chavruta, my study partner, we wondered together, what about the generation that follows Rabbi Israel of Ryzen? Eventually, if we stop lighting the fire, lose the prayer, can no longer find the place in the woods, we will likely someday forget the story itself. Stories are powerful, but we cannot stop at storytelling. What happened between the generation of the Baal Shem Tov and the Magid of Mezrich that the fire was lost? How did the following generation forget the prayer? And what must have changed in the world to prevent a further generation from finding the place? We need not simply accept that these aspects were lost and that all that's left is the story. We can instead choose to actively engage with our past. In his commentary on this week's Torah portion, 18th century Rabbi Levi of Berdichev presents a question. The text reads, "Ve'ele toldot." This is the story of Isaac, son of Abraham. But we already know from earlier in the Torah that Isaac is the son of Abraham. So why then is it repeated? What additional learning can we glean from the repetition? The Berdichever Rebbe responds that in re-emphasizing Isaac's parentage, we learn that unlike in previous generations who traced their ancestry back solely to their own parents, all of Yitzhak's offspring, in other words, all Jewish people, would trace themselves all the way back to their founding patriarch, Avraham. We are our parents' children, but we know well that we are not solely our parents' children. We are descended from generation upon generation of ancestors. We are the recipients of so many stories of fires lost and found, prayers prayed and forgotten, and special places discovered and destroyed. But Rabbi Levi of Berdichev takes this lesson one step further. We learn from here, he writes, also that it is up to children to demonstrate by their deeds that they are not only descended from their parents, but could claim previous generations as their roots. It is not just about one generation, and it's not just about the story. Through action, we live out a tolda, a tribute to the many generations who came before us. We must actively engage with the past in order to create a brighter future. Ve'ele toldot. These are the generations. Knowing that we come from somewhere is an invitation to actively play a role in determining what happens in generations to come. Ve'ele toldot. These are the generations. We find ourselves in a generational chain. What we do while we are here on earth matters, and it will become part of someone else's story. Ve'ele toldot. This is the story. We turn in our service now to Mishaberach L'cholim, a prayer of healing for the sick. We think of those in our circles of concern who are in need of healing of body, healing of mind, healing of spirit. We offer Mishaberach this Shabbat for Jennifer Leventhal, Roberta Friedman, Jeffrey Millman, Yochanan Ben Sipora, Marilyn Weiner, Judy Balsam, Esther Bat Mechel Varezel, Leah Bat Nina Bat Benjamin, Rachel Bracha, Lisa Snyder, Bruce Sharkey, Steve Grodzinski, Grace Nidish, Ashley Norfleet, Tony and Gina DeLappa, Matthew Atwood, Anthony and Elizabeth Dankner, Deborah Kapnick, Nicole Shusi, Neil Glaskell, Leah Greenspan, Masha Batsara, Andrew Goldstein, Ken Master, Emily Marshall, Chava Batsara, Eliyahu Chaim Ben Fredel, Sheila Fried, Malka Tzipora Bas Rachel, Tamar Bat Malka, Deborah Greenfield, Herschel Meir Ben Davida Chana. And we add to those names of your loved ones whom you are thinking of in offering this prayer of healing. I invite you to rise and share their name at this time. For all those we've named out loud and all those we've named silently, we join together singing this prayer for healing, page 371. The words of Aleinu L'Shabeach are on page 586. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגון עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו There's a light in the darkness, and the black of the night cannot harm us. We can trust not to fear, for our comfort is near. There's a light in the darkness. There's a light. There's a light. And the black of the night cannot harm us, cannot harm us. We can trust not to fear, for our comfort is near. There's a light in the darkness.
In a dark week, we can be the light. The memory of our loved ones who are no longer among the living, they too bring the light. As a congregation, we mourn the recent deaths of Mickey Baton, husband of Jill Baton and father of Melissa Caswell, Amanda Baton, and Blythe Witt, Helene Shepard, mother-in-law of Emily Shepard, Jean Kantrowitz, mother of Darlene Duran, Nancy Mineroff, mother of Carol Kushnick, Bonnie Dursey Shapiro, cousin of Michelle Smith, Harold Gelb, father of Lisa Feiner, Michael Gelb, and Kathy Mobley, Linda Spiegel-Hess, mother of Abby Soroka, Stacy Sporn, Candace Frankel, and Nina Kotick, Joyce Rowe, aunt of Jim Glucksman, Valerie Ryan, mother of Catherine Mannon and Andrew Ryan. And this week we also remember Aryeh Shupak, the victim of a terror attack in Jerusalem this past Wednesday, Tamil Avihai, Mati Ashkenazi, Michael Ladigan, who were killed last week in Ariel. And we also remember those who were victims of mass shootings in Colorado Springs and Chesapeake, Virginia, all taken from us this week. We also remember those who died at this time in years past. Kurt Adler, Isabel Allen, William Altman, Samuel Bauman, Joseph Berger, Elsa Burney, Janet Hunt, Mildred Brock, Rolf Buckdahl, Rachel Curcio, Shirley Disick, Israel Eisert, Eric Fried, Doris C. Friedman, Frida Friedman, Jeanette Gellin, Ann Gold, Saul Gold, Stephen Goldstein, Arnold Gould, Marilyn Greenberg, Max Gutman, Judith Harold, Jerome Kessler, Orrin Kitzes, Anna Cronenberg, Michael H. Ludwig, Barak Magid, Benjamin Magid, Sina Malice, William Miller, Essie Rader, Moishe Reinitz, Arlene Robert, Robert Salkoff, Mitzi Sands, Marilyn Scheffler, Janet Singer, Sydney Sladen, Ben Smith, Neil Tesler, Sonia Troy, Lane Truby, Helen Wallowitz, Haiti Uden, Rose Zachary. And if you have a loved one whose name you'd like to add, or if I inadvertently mispronounce the name of a loved one, I invite you to offer it or offer the correction at this time. In a particular order, then, we will rise. First, if you are in a period of mourning, first 7 days Shiva, the first 30 days Shloshim, please rise that we might acknowledge you as a community. If you are in the first year of mourning a loved one, I invite you to rise at this time. If you are here this Shabbat to commemorate a yahrzeit, the anniversary of a loved one's death, I invite you to rise at this time. As one community in empathy and support, we now rise with you as we recite the words of Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach hirutei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen.
You may be seated. It is my honor to invite forward at this time the president of our congregation, Warren Haber.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I'd like to wish a hearty Mazel Tov to the Tauber and Fisher families on their upcoming mitzvahs this weekend. Announcements for the week: we have Torah study tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., although no sharing Shabbat.
That's right.
Right. Cooking for Hope on Monday at 10 a.m. Rosh Chodesh, led by cantors Kleiman and Rodnitsky, on Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. And Rabbi Blake will be leading Pirkei Avot, a deep reading, on Thursday at 10:15 a.m. via Zoom. I wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm also going to put in a plug for next Sunday, not this Sunday, but a week from this Sunday, December 4th. Alana Arian, a wonderful leading voice in the Jewish world, is coming to WRT to sing with our Freebirds, but the entire congregation is invited. It's going to be a wonderful evening of music. So stay tuned for that too. Shall we conclude with another prayer for peace, because we clearly need more of those this week?
Sounds like a great idea, Cantor. Since we are in need of peace and also in need of that light, we add to the sweetness of our Kiddush cup before we say the words of Kiddush. And I would like anyone who has something they are celebrating, something that is a light in your week that you are bringing with you tonight, raise your hand and share that we might add to the sweetness that is Shabbat. Yes, Tauber family, you have an obvious one. That is true. Lily and Noah's B'nai Mitzvah, Mazal Tov. Yes. Your sister got into grad school.
Which
Mazal Tov.
sister? Abby, yay!
Do we have one more? One more. 88th birthday of your mother, who happens to also be my grandmother. Funny how that works. Let us say thank you to God for that sweetness.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam vorei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'rahata banu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techilah lemikra kodesh zecher litziat Mitzrayim ki banu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat
L'chaim.
And in gratitude for the food on many of our tables today and yesterday and every day, we join together in the Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.